Hello everyone. Till now we have programmed output devices. We have programmed motor, we have programmed LED, we have programmed the speaker. All these were output devices. From this video on, we are going to turn our focus towards programming input devices. Now, just like the computer, our Arduino also we can connect output and input devices. Motor, speaker, LED. Arduino was giving instructions, Arduino was controlling them, and hence they were all output devices. Whereas the devices which provide some information or instructions to Arduino will be termed as input devices. Examples are sensors. Sensors provide the information about the surrounding to the Arduino, and hence sensors are called input devices. Since input devices are going to provide some information to the Arduino, it is in form of some values. And the values are classified as analog values or digital values. Now, what is analog values and what are digital values? To give you a simple understanding, digital values are when we have only two states. For example, on off, yes no, 1 0, high low. Here we see that set of two values, only two states or only two values in one set. There is nothing between on and off. There is nothing between yes and no. There is nothing between 1 and 0. And there is nothing between high and low. Only two values. When we have such kind of values, we call them digital values. And more than two values. If we have more than two values, or we can represent a value in more than two states, then we call them analog values. For example, brightness. I can say that the brightness is low or medium or high, or even I can have more shades to it. Okay, I can give some values and I can say, okay, brightness is out of 10, it is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are more than two values, and in this case, brightness will be termed as an analog value. Now, when we are talking about output devices, the maximum output value we could give was 255. That was the maximum output value because our microprocessor is 8-bit processor, and hence the maximum value we could give is 255 because we can only give total 256 values, and the range of values we can give was from 0 to 255. But Arduino Uno has one ADC, analog to digital converter. And the ADC which Arduino Uno has is 10-bit. and hence the input values which are allowed in Arduino Uno are from 0 to 1023. One more thing we need to understand about input devices before we go further, that is, where should I attach them? Now we can have digital input devices or we can have analog input devices. Now when we have analog input devices, we can connect them to only pins A0 to A5. If we have a digital input device, we can connect it pin number 2 to 14. We avoid pin number 0 and 1 because 0 and 1 pins are used as serial pins. Now with this knowledge about input devices, we will move on to our next video where we will see the Arduino blocks from M block which are used to program input devices.